Wow. Mm, mm, mm. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Mm, mm, mm. Wow. Okay. Well, mm-mm. Let's see. Okay, let's see. So, oh my goodness. Okay. Mm. Welcome to Can Angels Fly, Tarot and More. My name is Nancy. And as you can see, I'm here to perform somewhat of another Aquarius rant. Because somebody has to make this make sense. The White House got ran in by MAGA civilians. Okay, as usual, my apologies. I have to insert a timestamp below my video. I guess I'll timestamp it for 10 minutes. I'll take the time to do that. Let's see where I can put that 10 minutes, 10-minute mark. I guess I can somewhere. Okay, that's here. Way down here. That. Excuse me. Let's see. Okay, today I don't think I'm going to have a difficult time making a very short video. I just want to add my 2 cents into to the our current events, which is, you know, the White House getting ran into by all of these people. Whew. Yeah. I always tell y'all that I don't watch news or anything, and when I do find out about what's taking place, you know, it's usually here on YouTube, or somebody has to tell me. And so, once again, my kids came and told me about what was happening, and so then I tuned into what's this, YouTube, and then I found out, yep. Some real crazy stuff happened. I saw the most crazy stuff. And so I just kind of want to talk about some things. Yesterday I did a live in which I talked about some of the toys that exist here in this physical realm, or the devil's playground. And I find it so interesting. How can I say this? Over the last week, what's this? Yeah, the 7th. Yeah, over the last week, I've been getting a lot of downloads. That's what my last live was about. I did not know that when I performed that live, that stuff in Washington had taken place. So I have been preparing my live yesterday. I can't even think of the name of it. Let me look and see the name of this live, because I gotta remember. Oh, it was my Aquarius rant yesterday. My first Aquarius rant for this year, 2021. So I'm like, okay. I didn't know what was taking place till my kids told me, and then I hit social media and start seeing, you know, people making videos on the subject of the White House being overran. And but today, today when I got back on social media, I ran into a couple of videos that I watched that the creator was talking about what happened again in Washington. And it was something that one of the creators said about, you know, places like the White House. Judiciary establishments always have underground tunnels. Like here, I live in Detroit. Everybody knows that there are underground tunnels, you know, from the from the like the jails to the various courthouses. Some of the older historical landmarks here all have tunnels under them. I have traveled through some of those tunnels, not the jail ones, but the other ones to other buildings. And so he was saying, like, sharing, like when he was in jail and he walked through those tunnels, he could see back through some of the tunnels that they had security, you know, back in those tunnels, which they do. Those tunnels that are a part of our various social constructs are not just empty and where people can just walk through them. It's always security there. And so I just wanted to state that. But right now I'm going to try to just put my 2 cents in, because it just doesn't make any sense to me. I need somebody to make it make sense to me about how all of these people could go to protest in Washington and run up on the White House. I don't even know how that's possible, but okay. With no pushback. That's the thing, with no pushback. So anyway, y'all know I have to have notes because I forget along the way. So what I realized is, how can I say this? I always have a issue talking about any message I want to talk about. The first things first. What bothered me the most about these people being able to run up on the White House the way they did without any pushback, it's the images that have been presented to the audience, the rest of the world. So how can I say this? I write notes and still can't find them. Don't do this. Let's see. So I know how to say it. I'm not a person that really knows just how to talk unless I'm just in a full-fledged conversation. Anywho, what I notice is that whenever a major event happens in society, there's always the same repetitive, commemorative pictures presented to the audience or the world. It's the same commemorative pictures that have been socially circulated during any or after any, major event that happens. And it's for a purpose. I realize it's for a purpose, especially relative to this event. So I want to talk about these pictures. And these pictures stood out to me as they had in the past. I just kept ignoring it. But this time, I can't ignore it. I can't ignore what? I can't ignore the fact that, again, every single time one of these insane events happen, that there are photos taken and circulated to the public. And they're always the exact same pictures that we all end up acknowledging. When I went on Facebook, the same pictures were present. When I just Googled this event, the same pictures were present. When my children came to talk to me about this occurrence, they talked about and referred to the exact same pictures. Then when I came here on YouTube and, start looking at other people's videos on this current event, they referred to the exact same pictures. Why is it always the exact same pictures? And who are taking these pictures? Okay. And so right now I want to talk about some of the pictures that I saw that stood out to me that everybody seems to have, seen as well. The first one, which made me a bit angry, was a picture outside of the White House. And it seems that the people, the protesters, are already started, running into the White House because the crowd outside had thinned. And it was one black guy standing on the steps of the White House. He was not facing the White House. He was just standing on the stairs. It was like everybody had already about went in. It was a few stragglers outside still making their way in, but he wasn't even turned facing the White House to walk into the White House. He was like looking out in the in a short distance away, just like kind of lost in thought. Like, what are you doing there? He was not there. He wasn't like actively involved. Why was he there? Then it was another picture before that one, where it was another black guy. This is when the crowd was still outside. And it was a middle-aged to older black guy. He's same thing. The crowd is all around him. Mostly all I saw were Caucasians all around. This one black guy is standing there in the middle of the crowd. He's not facing the White House. As a matter of fact, he's turned to the right, where everybody else turned forward. He's turned to the right, and he's like looking at his phone or something. But he's not actively engaged. Energetically, he doesn't seem engaged. The young man on the stairs didn't seem engaged. But why are y'all there? Okay. Then I see a photo inside the Hall of Congress or whatever, wherever they were. And it's what? Everybody's running out of the hall, and there's one black guy standing in a row of chairs, not actively involved in the scene, just standing there kind of just looking lost. This was a young guy too. And he had like a puff jacket on and a backpack on. Same images everybody is seeing. That's being, circulated to everybody. My question is, why were these individual African-American males in the scene, but not actively involved in the scene? That says something to me. Then another picture, this one was the one that was really disturbing to me, this is like the onset at the moment that the protesters began to push their way into the White House, like through the front door. It's this one black security guard standing there trying to keep the people from coming into the White House. And it's this big old crowd or herd of people trying to come through the door. They're not coming through at the moment very aggressively, but he's telling them no. And so the people advance forward a little bit, pushing their way into the White House. Now, by this time, this black guy is taking his hand radio to call for backup. Nobody's coming yet, but okay. And so he's walking backwards, and the crowd is coming in. Now, the head of the crowd coming through the door, the narrow, because the door make them come in narrowly, is they're in. The iceberg of the people is in. And so he done backed up down the hallway, and he's telling them, no, no, you know, like, you can't come in. No. He putting up his hand, kind of pushed the guy back with his push to the chest, like, no. But the black guy, the security or sheriff, whoever he was, so he's backing up. You know, you can see like fear on him, like he understands it's being overran. And so I watch him look back to see a baton or that stick, law enforcement stick, the baton on the ground. He run back, he pick up the baton, he come back. Now more people than came in, like, no, no. I'm looking like, what the hell is going on here? Now, several minutes have passed, and there's still no backup. And so this black guy is slowly walking backwards, telling them no, and every now and then giving them the man that's the head of the crowd, a crowd of rioters and protesters. He's giving them a hand push gesture to the chest. Like, what is that? The officer seems afraid for his life, so he's still going back to his hand radio, calling for backup. Nobody has come yet. They made it all the way down the hall. Now the officer is turning, going up the stairs. First he's walking backwards up the stairs, then he turns and he jogs up the stairs, and now all the protesters jog up the stairs behind him. At the top of the stair, the officer turned around and said, no, hand thrust back. You can't come. He's on the radio. Still no backup. They done made it up a whole flight of stairs. That same pattern continues up 3 flights of stairs. What? The officer pushing his hand out, telling him, no, you can't come any further. And then stepping back a few steps, and then the protesters move forward. And the protesters always stayed in this like angle where he was always giving this this hand thrust against the chest of this one particular protester at the head of the crowd. Foof, no, you can't come up. And he go back a little more. Foof, no, you can't come up. And he's constantly on the radio calling. Nobody has came. 3 flights of stairs up the staircase in the White House. And I say that because those stairs usually are significantly, high. We ain't talking about 1 or 2 stairs. We talking about having to run about 20 stairs each time, at least every time you go up a flight. No back up. Now, hi Jordan, how are you doing? This is some crazy stuff going on in our world. So I'm like, okay, now something wrong with this, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm saying, definitely is something wrong with these pictures that are being circulated to us. Let me tell you some stories that have happened in my life. 3 at least. One time I went to the casino. I'm playing at the casino, and somebody gets irate because they have lost all their money. They feel like the casino cheating. This person starts setting it off at the table, at the dice table. All of a sudden, you can hear a code go over the air. All of the security that work for the casino, you could just hear them herding through the casino from the upper floors, the lower. You could hear them stampeding, going to that area in order to get what was ever taking place at that dice table under control. Within seconds. Another time, I was at the I wrote it down so I ain't got to think about it. It was the casino. Oh, I was downtown at the traffic court. And, I was at the courts. I'll say that. I was there for traffic. But in another courtroom, a case was taking place, a criminal case, in which somebody had got murdered. And after they ended the trial and the person was found guilty and everything, the family member hopped over the seats and got at the criminal and jumped on him. What happened? All of a sudden you hear code called over that go over the building, or you can hear either it's going through the building or it's hitting all the sheriff's walkie-talkies at the same time. Without hesitation, boom, you can hear them stampeding through the whole courthouse, the whole building be shaking. When I was in the casino, when all those security guards were headed to defuse that situation, you could feel the casino shaking with so many of them stampeding from every location. When I was in that courthouse and it happened, and them sheriffs came running, then you could feel them running through the whole building. The whole building was shaking to be able to go get that family member off that person that had killed their family member. And then there was another time I was somewhere else. Where else was I? I write stuff down. I can't remember. So I can. Where else was I at? And that happened. I was at the casino. Oh, I know. I was at the federal building. Now this is a government building I was at. I was at the federal building. And so I went in the federal building because my credit union in the federal building. Somebody came in there acting a fool. Sure enough, and all of these places is not just that the call goes out that something is awry, and it goes over the waves, over the radio, or through the building, whatever. And all of the officers know to rally where the issue is reported to be. The buildings even locked down. I have been in a grocery store where it was somebody that was spotted stealing food and sticking it down in their pockets. What happened? Code went over the store. The gates in the store shut down like boom, boom. And what you can hear, it wasn't as loud, of course, because it wasn't as many security personnel, people in the grocery store, but you can hear them come running. And then that time when I was in the federal building, same thing. Somebody came in there irate, acting the dang on fool, and the call went over the radio. All of those sheriffs came running. The building shut down, and you can hear them stampeding through the building on the way to control that issue. So I share those at least 4 times. I said 4 times at the market, at the casino, at the court, and at the federal building, that I have been in a situation where when a problem arises, soon as an alert is sent out, the law enforcement personnel immediately are dispatched to that location, and you can feel them stampeding their way to that reported location where the problem is, and the building's locked down, even the grocery store. So, like I said, somebody make sense to me, how people were able to overrun the White House with all the people, all of Congress, all the politicians in the building. Make that make sense to me. I'm just wondering. Well, you said what, Jordan? My holiday was really okay, Jordan. I really enjoyed my holiday. It was very comfortable. I mean, we just really were laid back. How about yours? Really laid back. I mean, what's taking place now is just insane. Everything is insane. 2020 was sure enough insane and challenging. And then 2021 has this nerve to come in here and try to show out already. Unbelievable. And so, anyway, at the beginning of this live stream, I was referring to the live stream I did yesterday, which was my first Aquarius rant for the year 2021, in which I talked about the various toys that the devil has here in his playground, which is perception and perspective and different things like that. I did not know what I was saying in that live stream. I said, hey, since 2020 2021 came in a week ago, I'd had received a lot of downloads from ethereal beings, that which is unseen. I said, I've just been in a meeting with them and it's been a lot of chitter chatter. I said, they just want to chitter chatter, chitter chatter. And so I engage them. You know, I have some questions and concerns about what's been going on like in 2020. So, okay, since they present themselves to me, I'll engage them. I did not know, you know, what was taking place yesterday. You know, and so it, based on what I'm about to share here, makes me understand why they were wanting to chitter chatter so much since 2021 began. So I'll try to make it make sense. And the reason I wanted to chitter chatter is because yesterday, the lie that I did yesterday, I was sharing again what I've been discussing with these unseen entities or these ethereal beings. And again, it was about perception and reception and different things like that. Well, today I realized again I couldn't ignore these same pictures that are you know, circulated through society over and over again when a major event happens. The reason why they wanted to chitter chatter with me was to make sure that I was aware to pay attention to the pictures that have been presented to society to show or commemorate what happened yesterday. To let me know that I'm going to have to go back into that our perception is being manipulated. Our perception is being manipulated. So I'll try to make it make sense. Very short video, almost done. But it's amazing how life teaches. So let me see if I can make this make sense. And then I'm going to get on up off here. Oh, and it's another picture that's been circulating as well. And it's that of a single Caucasian woman. I think her name is Alicia. What's that? Ashley, I think. I think Ashley Babette or something like that. And it's reported. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her name right. But it was reported that during all of that chaos, I think a total of 5 people were end up dying or something like that. And one of them was this white woman, Caucasian woman, Ashley. And she died of I don't know, a gunshot wound to the chest. And so that was another image or pic. So I want to recite these pics again. It's the woman, they are publicizing that she was shot and killed during the protests. Then it's the imagery of the black guy standing outside, not even being engaged and just kind of looking away. Then there was another younger black guy standing on the Capitol stairs while everybody else was running in. He was standing there, not engaged, not even looking or standing in the direction of entering the White House. Why was he there? Then it was the image of the officer who was trying to hold back the crowd, and no backup ever came. 3 flights up, nobody ever came. And so the whole thing is number one, the imagery that has been circulated in our society is subliminal messaging. That's what it is. And so I went to Google, and I said, Google, talk to me about subliminal messages. Because we've been here before. Me and these entities have discussed subliminal messages before. But I said, take me back there again. So I Googled it, and I went to this site, and the site is called Psychology Wikia, WIKIA.org. And so I'm going to read this little short insert that I extracted from the article there. on that website is subliminal stimulation contrary to superliminal stimuli or above threshold. Is very sensory stimulation below an individual's absolute threshold for conscious perception. What is it saying in short relative to the meaning of subliminal messages? Is saying that the information that a person receives is so below an individual's senses that they aren't able to successfully or consciously perceive what they are seeing. And that's what I'm saying those type of pictures are doing. We're just thinking that the moment is being commemorated, or the incident or the protest is being commemorated, but why with certain pictures? Like another picture that I saw that I heard many people reference was the one with a man carrying a podium out of one of the offices. Or another man was holding a picture of, holding a piece of mail from Miss Pelosi's desk. Or another man was in one of the offices and he was dressed like he was from the Mad Max Thunderdome movie or something like that, with some type of moose head or something on him. You know, so all of those images were taken, very specific images were taken to convey a message. And so what am I saying? That the images itself are subliminal. And so I'm going over and explaining what we are seeing. Number one, I know a lot of people saying that, wow, other countries looking at America, laughing at them because all of these people done ran into the White House. So that we would think that that would cause other countries not to have respect for us, right? But I remember when I did some research when this whole corona thing started, and I jokingly said that because I was talking about China's involvement with the United States or something like that, and how they may very well own a slice of the United States. And so I made a joke like, you know, United States citizens ain't gonna go for that. China telling us what to do or being under their regiment, we ain't gonna do it. And I made this little kind of hillbilly tone when I made that little, you know, sarcastic remark. Another time, just the other day, I made a comment about how United States citizens would not accept something. I can't remember. But in retrospect, I'm looking back like while I was making those marks, those... why do I have such a hard time talking if I haven't planned it? I can't even think what I was going to work. Use the word again. Anyway, so what am I saying? I'm saying when other countries, it's possible based on, again, my past studies and everything, that when other countries see America in the light in which it was displayed yesterday, I do believe it was, which was January 6th. If, you know, we may think that these countries may be like, okay, America's a joke. But will they? A place like China that has its citizens completely under control, they can roll over. And that was what the a couple of times I made a comment about, you know, any other country's involvement with us. Shoot, they like, Americans are crazy. So my point is saying no other country can come over here, you know, and seize control. No other foreign interest can come over here and seize control, really. Because they ain't not just dealing with the people in the White House. They're not just dealing with bureaucracy. They literally, when you come to America, you dealing with the people. That's what all that protest and rioting and running up in the White House suggests to me, and I think that's what other nations see. Like, them people over there are crazy. If we go over there messing with them, it ain't just their government or the bureaucracy. If we can buy them off, okay, we still can't take that place, because then we have to deal with the military. And if the military do what the leadership says, and we basically bow them off, then we got to deal with the people, the citizens of the United States. Them people crazy. They running up in their own government, you know. And so I think it's a scare tactic and a deterrent to foreigners. And then within home, talking about within the United States, what does that say to people? Well, number one is, again, it's subliminal messaging. All of those people that ran up in there and were actively involved in laying siege on the White House seem to be Caucasians. So it goes back to the old historical perception of white supremacy, that they gonna be heard, that they can rally together, do what they want, and there be no punishment. Because I haven't seen a picture, not one, where there was any pushback to these people running in and through and over the White House. No pushback. It was one single person that has been repeatedly reported to have perished during this riot, this protest and riot. Now the other four, I ain't heard nothing about. I don't know none of their names. I don't know how they look. I only heard about one Caucasian woman, and I think her name again was Ashley. Now, what does that say subliminally to the people watching all of this take place, watching all this unfold? Well, it says, oh, this poor little damsel in distress, moving forward in order to protest and try to protect, the Republican Party, or whatever all this is over. Again, I'm not the most crispiest cookie in a jar. I'm just here to put my 2 cents in. But that's what it says subliminally. That this woman laid her life down on the line. This damsel. Well, it's not that she was in distress, but look at the dynamics. A Caucasian or white woman, however you like to label her, probably got kids at home and a husband. But she felt so patriotic that she left her kids at home. We can imagine with her mom or his mom. And she set out on a mission to, be patriotic and protect our government and protect voting and democracy and protect the republic and all that. And she goes out and she is killed. Isn't she a sacrifice then? This is the subliminal message about her strength, her personal strength. Okay. Then the part that is very personal to me is that, like I said, it was at least 3 images of black people that were there. 2, not even involved. 1, actively involved because it's their job. I want to talk about the officer first, because that was an insult. Number 1, I've never entered, like I said, I can enter the casino, even if I enter my grocery store. When I was going to high school, I never entered any of these constructs doors without there being multiple security. Again, even when I was going to high school, somewhat 30 years ago. So anyway, federal building, courts, what else I've been? Casinos. The casino got 4 or 5 guards right at the front door when I go in there. Never. The school at least had 2 or 3. So I've never entered not one social construct building, official building, where there was only 1 security guard or sheriff at the door. Not never. So, okay, we have this 1 African American security guard or sheriff, whatever his title really is, standing at the door, supposed to protect, the building and that which is in it. And then here comes this whole gang of protesters rioting. They're tearing up the building. And what he's supposed to do. One person. They knew that. Whoever was taking the picture. Oh, this is another thing I want to say. When it came to this black sheriff or police officer or security guard, who was taking the picture? Who was recording him from the front door all the way back up the stairs, 3 flights? Who was recording him that whole time? They knew how to stay their distance. They knew how to keep everything in frame and steady. Who was recording that? That scene really made up to me. It really did. Because if it was a person like myself just trying to record an event, I would be kind of nervous. I would be shaking because at any time, all of them people could have stampeded in there and stampeded over that officer. And then after stampeding over that officer, if I'm the camera person, they would have stampeded over me. Ain't no way. And it ain't no way he moved from that front door up 3 flights of stairs and didn't know backup come. It ain't no way, especially not at the White House. But okay, going back, starting at that front door with that one security guard, that one African-American security guard, how he couldn't stand, he couldn't stand his ground. That's what those visuals of him having to engage this large gang of protesters and rioters coming in at him. He constantly backing up, running away, got a stick, not a gun. Oh, hold on. Let me stop. He had a stick, not a gun. It's in the casino. All of the security have guns. A matter of fact, some of them got 2 guns on each, 1 gun on each side, but they at least got one. That's in the casino. When I go to my grocery store, the security have a gun. When I go to my CVS or my pharmacy, the security got a gun. When I go down to that federal building, every single security guard, front, back, up, and down, got guns. When I go to the course, every last one of the security guards, up, down, outside, inside, got a gun, or sometimes 2. Hold on. But yet, this security guard, now, to work at the White House, you needed clearance. It depends on what level of the government you're working determines the level of security that you get, the ranking, you know. And for each ranking, you require, like, even at CVS, there's a certain type of security guard that is permitted to have guns. Some are not. But my point is, when you get to the point of working at a federal building, you have a clearance where you are cleared to carry a gun. You must carry the gun. Where was his gun at? Anyway, the imagery of him was showing that he could not do what? Stand his ground. Where did that become a big slogan at, I guess I could say? Stand your ground. Who was that with? Huh? That was a slogan. So now we have a person that is standing under the authority of the federal government. They employed by them, working in their building, at their door, front door, and he couldn't stand his ground. That's a message to Americans. What Americans? Any non-Caucasian Americans. That's what that means. And how, how the security didn't come, the backup didn't come. Like I said, in all the places I've been, they come stampeding, literally stampeding, shaking the whole building like it's about to shake it out the foundation. Not one other security person or sheriff, whatever they are, special agent, came to back him. It wasn't until he got to that 3rd floor that maybe 3 or 4 more came that I could see. Does that make any amount of sense? I'm saying when I'm at the grocery store, even the men that work in the grocery store, it ain't just the 2 security guards there with the guns. It's the men that work at the store. They paying a little more focus whenever they have a problem at my grocery store, all the men come. So, no. So about 3 or 4 men initially, what I could see in that video, came. Now, this man on his radio report and say, hey, there's a stampede of protesters, rioters out here. I'm one man. I could see him being a little nervous. I would too. But ain't no way he gonna get on his radio, call for backup, and 3 or 4 mother suckers gonna come. I almost cuss. Ain't no way. They playing with our mind. They playing with our mind. They playing with our mind. That image right there was subliminal message, a threat, a reminder to people like groups like ADOS, or how ADOS. It was a warning. It was a reminder to groups like these Black Gunmen Association that, okay, y'all ain't gonna do nothing. Who didn't do nothing? The black man, the young black man on the stairs, the young black man, older black man standing out in the crowd outside the White House where everybody else facing the White House. They facing away, either looking at phones or totally in their own world, ain't even engaged. And the crazy thing is that the pictures that were taken of them. Sometime in photography, they take pictures of people where they make certain figures the focal point. These African Americans I'm talking about in all of the images were the focal point. The other people were kind of just there. Just there. Okay. Anywho, talking about how magic is being used on society once again with a primary focus on African American people. African American people. And another thing I want to talk about before I get up out of here, because I'm getting all heated and upset, is before I started this live, I looked over and the suggestions, video suggested, and I saw that Mr. Trump made a video or announcement, gave a public announcement in which he said, hey, y'all went too far. You do not represent America. So one day, it seemed like on social media, he said, hey, meet me at D.C. on January 6th. We doing a protest, and he knew what people truly believed he represented and who he was talking to. So them people came up and showed out. The powers that be have said over and over again in these various messages I'm getting from the stars, these people are not very smart. They're not very smart. They keep saying it. And they said they know, the powers know y'all not smart and you being manipulated. So he done manipulated this particular tribe of people to come out to Washington for a reason. He was Donald Trump. Like I said, I said it in my one of my predictions for 2021. Said, I know Donald Trump not over. He not done. I said he's a Gemini. He a trickster. And he might be able to change direction any given time. So he ain't done. He got something else for us. Okay. And he did. He threw some heck of a messages out here that's going to carry the United States from here on forward. And what one of the messages is to what? The white or Caucasian tribe saying, white supremacy is still in effect. You can do what you want. But during the message he just delivered, talking about, hey, y'all done went too far. Y'all don't represent America. He throwing y'all under the bus so he don't get in trouble. But he did. He said what he meant in that social media. And he opened up the opportunity and the platform for y'all to do what y'all do. All of this seems to be very staged and intentional. From the point that all these people were able to rush the White House and there was no pushback. There was no military force right there at hand. There was no jets, drones, airplanes, helicopters, nothing. Now, I didn't see it, but I heard that Black Lives Matters marched there and they said it was quite a bit of law enforcement there. But in this case, it wasn't. And to the level that this particular tribe pushed up in the first house, warranted a lethal pushback, but it was not. But yet, when people come to respectfully and protest, as an example, Black Lives Matter, they were amped up and ready to push back if anything was to go, go wrong, go off. If they felt like something was going to go on. They looked like, the way I'm understanding, they looked like they was ready to act. But in this case, they weren't there. These people made it into the whole interior of the office, walking out private mail. Do you know how much time a person get for what they call it, mail, opening somebody else's mail or taking somebody else's mail. They got this man picture right there, circulating it publicly with this mail with this woman name on it. Do you know how much time that carry? I'm not gonna go talking about my life experiences, but do you know how much time that carry? Or even hold on. The man that had the podium in the picture, full facial, front, what do they call it? Profile picture with him carrying the podium, laughing. Do you know how much time that carry? What would they call that? Not burglary, robbery, unarmed robbery. You know how much time that'll call? Take. Hold on, stop. I heard there were a few people with guns. Now I didn't see the pictures with people with guns, but if you know it's illegal to enter a federal building armed, do you know how much time that would give a person? Or to breaking and entering for the person that was standing there with the moose stuff on at the Congress desk. The moose man was breaking and entering. The man that took the podium was unarmed robbery. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? Come the heck. The man with the Pelosi letter was, I can't think what it's called. But it was interference with mail or something like that, because it wasn't addressed to him. I can't remember what it's called. But all of these crimes were committed. Vandalism. All kinds of things. They all were breaking and entering. They weren't invited. And vandalism. But not one force or strike to push back, except with that one single African American man security guard that couldn't stand his ground. And then again, and I'm gonna let it go because all of this is insane. It is subliminal messaging. Hello, and if people can't see that, something is definitely wrong. I see you. Hi, Beach. I want to. I'm mad. Oh, thank you. This was my nice little summer dress, my summer muumuu. I just wear them as nightgowns after the summer's over, and get me a new little cheap wardrobe every summer. That's how I live, rich and famous. I be cussing and fussing. He said it was staged. Absolutely. The civil unrest is real. I mean, that's just insane. It was insane. You say, Jordan, they're not the powers that be. They're the powers of deception, total deception. They, again, once playing with our minds. And I have to go back and refer to astrological alignment I talked about several times. And it was December 30th of 2020. And I said, y'all, something up. And I interpreted it. And this was the interpretation I gave. I can't say that it is not the case. This one I say, hey, I ain't got no way to prove. But now I'm wondering. Let me remind you of this astrological interpretation I offered y'all. I'll share it with y'all. It was the witching hour. December 30th, 2020, between 12 midnight and 6 a.m. I think it was. And I was like, something's going on there. Something is going on there. I said, but, you know, doing extensive research, I came up with the witching hour, the opportunity for us to go into the vault of God and extract from it everything that resonates with us, mankind. You know, and so that's the time period which you come out with. If you're ugly soul, then you come out with all ugly soul stuff, giving you the capability to steal, kill, destroy, and all that kind of stuff. But I wonder, because I went back to it and I mentioned it 3 times. I said, I can't figure it out, y'all. I said, this spiritual part I see, but I can't see what somebody doing between midnight and 6 a.m. That was December 30th. January 6th, that happens. I wonder, was this plan put in place and executed at that time? Is that what it was talking about? See, now I got to go back to that astrological alignment one more time, because it kept saying somebody was doing something in the dark, and I knew that, but I couldn't get what it was. I'm like, okay, now I'm wondering if that's the case. Anywho, before Donald Trump leaves office, he set some spirits loose, is what I've been trying to say. He literally set some spirits loose. As far as the global world, the global interaction. United States in relationship to any other nation. There are some nations that's going to say, them people wild over there. I'm not going over there. They crazy. They can't even control their people. Control is necessary in order to have a global world, or one world order. They have to be able to control us. Donald Trump showed the world, you can't control Americans. That's what he showed them. But on the other side, when dealing with the governments of the nations, you know, these are spirits that Donald Trump released. The other nations say, okay, the government, as far as the system itself, the government itself, the .gov, I'm supposed to say, the .gov itself, we can take the .gov. You know, we can take the .gov because they can't control their people. You know, it's not that another country, if they can't, another country was to come after American citizens, they know they got to come with force. They showed them. Them folks, that tribe yesterday showed them. Showed other countries. And they also showed them other countries that the capital, the cap, or the .gov is not where the power is. They showed that to the country. So the country does see our .gov is weak, but it does not see our people as weak. They understand if they come over here that there is a tribe that'll take it to them. That's what they say. Then there's the in-house spirit, I'm trying to say, that was released, in which they looking at saying, hey, again, white supremacy is still active, and you run this mother sucker. That's a spirit. When I say it's, he released the spirit, I'm saying, so now we're going to have to deal with that. It's going to continue to plague us or haunt us from here on out. It's from here on out. The United States government will be having problems with other nations. The people here going to be more rude to foreigners if they feel it warranted. You know, and the other countries going to be plotting against us to do, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to be blocked. You know, they understand what they have to do to the people, especially a particular tribe. And then the next message is to people of color. Not first, well, people of color, but primarily black people. Like, oh, you want to start your gun groups? Oh, you can't stand your ground. We're going to let you know you can't stand your ground against us. These are all the spirits I'm saying that Donald Trump released. The whole point, he ain't leaving the office, his presidency, without making an impression. He made an impression yesterday. And then today, when I wake up, he backing out of it, saying, y'all went too far. Y'all don't represent the United States. That's just something to try to save his behind from inciting these protests that went too far into riots. Okay, is there anything else I want to say? Because I was just like really upset. I want y'all to go look at them pictures again. I know y'all done seen them. Oh, yeah. I need to clarify. Let me make sure I read these notes because I came on here to talk about how, again, the entities have been chitter-chattering with me. Sometimes I don't understand. I think I understand what's taking place, but it's been twice now that I realize I fully am not understanding what these entities are saying to me when they saying it. Or sometimes when I read the stars, how do I interpret them to come up with the exact interpretation of what is going to happen? Like I said, that December 30th, 2020 astrological alignment, I told y'all was eating away at me because I knew it said something. I knew it said something. Again, I got to go back to it. This is evidence that I didn't know exactly what it was saying. I could not pick up on the physical happenings that was taking place in the dark. I couldn't. I only could pick up on the spiritual message. Then turn around and my life kept saying, hey, these social engineering is taking place. And it talked about that when I did the social engineering live stream or video, whatever it's called, did it. That was about a year or two ago. And after that, it had me deal, when I say it, I'm talking about the, hello, 100% stage, 100%. Had me deal with subliminal messages, but why? Why are you having me, why are you guiding my mind to deal with like social, let me tell y'all, my channel does not reflect my work at all. When I started talking about social engineering, again, I don't get the views and I don't understand how this is happening. But after that, I noticed maybe 6 months later, social engineering was everywhere. I'm sure it's not a channel you can go to now that everybody ain't talking about social engineering, social engineering, social engineering. I know that I brought that to YouTube, and I can't understand why or how I'm not getting the views to reflect my the level of my contribution to YouTube. I don't understand it, but okay. So now social engineering is all over the place, and it talked about what it after these entities bought to me to deal with social engineering. Then they took me back. It's like they give me a broad category. They say, okay, Nancy, now you know social engineering take place. Yeah, okay. So do you understand what social engineering is? I say, yeah, I know. Do you really? Maybe I don't. Okay. So they say, okay, well, let us take you so you can see social engineering in your reality. And so they took me then. That's when you see me make the following next videos. Here we are. We have the broomstick challenge. I'm telling y'all the videos. When I'm all over the place, y'all. Because I ain't planning to make this video, but I get so upset when I see certain things. So when I made the broomstick challenge, they were saying, Nancy, you know this is social engineering. Let me take you and show you. If you watch that video, I go back. They showed me how to see that what was being socially engineered was our was I ain't gonna go in detail. If you have time, go watch that live stream, the broomstick challenge, because that's when they were showing me about one type of particular of social engineering that's been taking place, and then subliminal messages they were showing me. And so if you watch the videos, I'll often say when I'm dealing with that subject matter that they're teaching me about, they being the unseen entities, I say, hey, this has to do with social engineering. So I've been dealing with social engineering for several years now and breaking it down, showing every avenue that they way or avenue that they have been social engineering society. And I've also talked about how the various tribes have been socially engineered somewhat subtly different for a different purpose, to serve different purposes. Anywho, I was about to go off. I'm going to look at my notes because I wanted to take one more thing to tie in a video I did yesterday. My first Aquarius rant that I didn't know was going to have to do with this. Okay. And I'm going to let y'all go. I keep seeing it. All right. I want to focus here on the United States of America. The last time I checked, it was reported that there were 311 million people in this nation, on this continent. And so our 3D reality exists because of the scene or the sight of 311 million Americans. That creates our 3D reality. It's 311 million perspectives taking place here in America. Last reported. So yesterday when I made my live and I talked about perspective and perception, again, I didn't know that it went with what was unfolding yesterday. I didn't even know what was unfolding yesterday at first. Until my kids and stuff told me, and then seen it on here. So how can I say this? So humanity, harmony, being unified. All 311 million Americans are supposed to see our experience from our own unique perspective. Try to keep the religion part out of it, or spiritual part. And have a full understanding about what this experience of life is and the experience of life living it in America. That's what the 311 million perspectives is supposed to offer us. And we're supposed to sympathize with each other. We're supposed to share with each other. We're supposed to be unified. So we all get a crystal clear picture about what it is like to be here in America at this point in time in the history of humanity. And it's supposed to be clear. And the picture is only clear because we share it. And that's the utopia or the ideal. That's the ideal concept. But we're far from the ideal. There are too many distortions that are occurring. Now, what is still, I'm trying to explain it without making it long and drawn out. There, again, last reported there are 311 million Americans. And so there are still 311 million different perspectives of this experience. You know, but we're not sharing. We're not caring. We're not sympathetic to each other. We are not united. So we're only like seeing our experience from our perspectives, or maybe those that are similar to us that exist in our tribe. So again, there's no unity, there's no unification, there's no harmony. And then on top of that, now mind you, all of the perspectives are still in place. But on top of that, then there's so many distortions. Many of the distortions that exist that fragment our perspectives, our own unique perspectives, are fragmented due to what? Subliminal messages, other social engineering tactics, racism, hate, all those kind of things. So nobody can see. All 300, just about, all 311 million Americans are completely blind. It would take you to go back and watch my first Aquarius rant of 2021 to truly understand what I'm rambling about right now. But I'm saying that there are certain effects that happen when our senses are overstimulated. And some of the side effects of overstimulated senses are blindness, confusion, headaches. You can't comprehend. You can't think. Depression. All of these things actually happen. And so that's happening on a broad spectrum in the United States of America. Almost the whole population of 311, I guess, plus million people. It's all happening. We can't see. We blind. But we have depended, each of us individually have depended on what we think we're perceiving. And what we usually think we are perceiving is been cultivated over the course of our lives. It's like historically what our parents told us or what our grandparents told us, you know, those kind of things, because we really can't see. We can't see no more. We practically blind. And that's more like in the spirit. I'm trying to explain something that occurred as a direct result. Occurred yesterday. Was it yesterday? With the unfolding of the White House being under siege. And so, how did I say this? I'm trying to get it. I almost had it. So we all can't see. Oh, okay. So we all can't see. So, like I said, Donald Trump and whoever is on his team did perform witchcraft on the United States of America. As I said, Donald Trump called up spirits that we're going to have to deal with from here on out. And the reason why he was able to do it so easily is because we're all blind. We're all suffering those side effects of our senses being overloaded. Right? Talked about that. And so when I start talking about the images that was taken to commemorate yesterday's events All the pictures that we're all seeing, the exact same pictures. And those same pictures conveying an idea to us, an ideology, a belief. I say this is once again leading each individual in the United States to believe they can see again. I'm trying to get it, y'all. You think you can see. Remember, nobody in the United States can see. We're all dealing with an sensory overload. We're all blind. We're all confused. We're all combobulated. And in our private lives, all we can depend on is what we've learned thus far to guide us. It's like walking in the dark, sensing and feeling. We're all blind. So since Donald Trump, as an example, know we are all blind, and the rest of his magicians know we're all blind, they do a magic trick. Yesterday was the execution of the magic trick. And the pictures commemorated that magic spell. They put the pictures out here for us to see. Remember, still, we're all blind. Not completely blind, but you know that hazy kind of blind where you can't see clear, it's clouded. And they show you this picture. What? Of the White House being overran. They show you the pictures of a few black people that are there with no purpose. No purpose at all, not involved, no purpose. Why are you there? You ain't gonna do nothing. You can't hold your ground. Ain't nobody coming to have your back. Know this about yourself. So now Donald Trump gave people of color something that they think they can see. That's what, I don't know if I'm articulating this right or conveying this concept right. Now, those black people or people of color that can't see, you think you can see, but you know you can't. You can't see. Now I done gave you an image to see. Everybody sees it. You see it, person of color, as well as everybody else. They see it. That what? You can't do nothing. You ain't gonna do nothing. You can't stand your ground. Ain't nobody coming to your back. That's what you see now. Because of these images that are everywhere. And everybody is sharing, looking in at the same pictures. So again, what am I talking about? I'm talking about perception. I'm talking about perspective, perception. And once again, that's why those spirits was talking to me about it. So again, can't nobody see. I'm talking about the Caucasian and the white tribe now. Can't nobody see. You think you can see, but you can't see. You can't see. Donald Trump and his people know you can't see. And so they do the magic trick. And then now, Caucasian tribe, you can see. You can see what? That white supremacy still exists. Execute your power. Do whatever it takes. You know, and the whole thing is, if you can hear these energies speak, when they say people are dumb. And I covered that, and I tried to cover that subject matter as nicely. Hello, how you doing, Dial J? How you doing today? And I tried to cover that subject matter as nicely as I could when I did the video a couple of years ago on the IQ. And how some people are idiots and morons and others are geniuses. I did. I tried to cover that as nicely as I could. And them spirits say it, and them energies in them stars said, them people dumb as shit. You know? But that image that Donald Trump has conveyed to that particular tribe, what tribe? The Caucasian tribe, the white tribe, is he not letting them know that you are easily manipulated. No. Remember, when I was talking about the conversation yesterday doing live, I said, hey, these entities saying this particular tribe, this Caucasian tribe, this white tribe, have been ordained or made to be an installation between the powers and those that are oppressed. The trick bag yesterday is that a portion of that Caucasian or white tribe ran up on some of them powers. That was interesting. That was the interesting piece right there. Hope the spirits come back and talk to me about it. I wouldn't expect, I mean, I guess I kind of was, but that was interesting. But my whole point is that once again, Donald Trump, the magic that he performed, refueled that particular tribe to continue to partake in those type of activities, demanding their rights, their freedoms, their liberty, their privileges, by any means necessary. Period. That was a magician's trick yesterday. And then again, we're talking about I've been talking about the United States, but the world at large, we're all in this boat together spiritually. The rest of the world can't see. And so he just did a magic trick on what? Them other nations. And them other nations' leaders. And all the citizens of the United States. I don't know if I can make that make sense. What it was about. This video really about. How our perception is being played with. Manipulated. Our perception is being manipulated. I don't know. But anywho, y'all, I had to just come put my 2 cents in because I'm just in disbelief that the White House was ran into. You say the metrics is crumbling? Sure enough, seem like it. You say, hi, chat and Nancy. It has been 100% confirmed that Antifa and other provocateurs infiltrated the rally the other day. They actually bragged about it on social media. They aren't even hiding it. Ain't even hide. I mean, see, I gotta figure. Okay, I gotta find out what is Antifa. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, y'all, I want to say something else. Remember, when I interpret the stars, it's really, really hard to convert astrological alignments and decode them and make them line up what can happen in reality. But when I decoded in my my predictions for 2021, I got to point out this prediction. It was a minor prediction, but still it happened. I said, you know, I've so far I've done 3 parts for my 2021 predictions. One was like a summary, and then part 2 covered January, February, and March, and then part 3 April and May. And the reason why I stopped in May and didn't go to June, because I don't really see much in June, and so I gave myself a break, and I'm going to go back to see if I can see anything. Anywho, in part 2 of my 2021 predictions, I said for the month of January, we can expect that there's going to be provocative artwork, or just, what was the terms? It was going to be, dang, I don't remember the terms I used, but basically we can expect artwork, more provocative artwork, social cause artwork in different mediums. Pay attention. That was for January. This is January. And what I'm talking about now are the pictures. Very provocative art mediums. Art mediums. What do you call them? Art mediums. Art mediums come in photography, sculpture, painting. So yesterday triggered what? A lot of photography of what? Very provocative images that what? Commemorated a social cause or call for some action or reform on a political on a political platform. I was able to see it, but you see how it's so hard to interpret what the stars are saying, because we just looking at the position of stars in the sky and degrees and how they relate to each other. So we can, a person that's in astrology can say, okay, this means this and this means that. But how does that convert over into our reality, keeping in mind everything that exists in our reality at this time? So I'm happy to say I got a I was on it. Go watch it. Go watch it. It's the when I talk about January and part 2 of 2020 predictions. I got that one. And oh yeah, it was another prediction that I made that came through. I heard it yesterday, but I was doing something. I couldn't stop. I said, hey, it was a couple of things I felt was going to be said. One thing was going to be said in January. But the other one is going to be said, I think, in March. I think in March it said, somebody going to say, if we just keep working at it, if we keep working together, we going to make it, or something like that, because I talked about motivational speeches. But I think it was in January I said, or our intuition is going to get really heightened, and we're going to really get in tune with who we are. That's to say, if you can really be an unrighteous person, or you work more in dark energy or something like that. And I said, people going to become real suspicious of others. And it was somebody in that government office. I got to go back in my YouTube history, because if that ain't what they said something that they were suspicious of such and such and such. I said, hot dang, I called that one out. I was like, okay. So I'm learning what I'm talking about. What am I rambling about now? How I'm learning how to refine my interpretation of the stars, because it's my goal to get crystal clear and crisp with my messages, so it is undeniable that I am almost the best astrologer, amateur astrologer. Look, I'm going to give myself a pat on the back. I'm working it out. He said, looking forward to truth being exposed. Oh, yep, and some secrets supposed to be exposed. What month is that? That's next month. Wasn't it February? Christy, next month is that the month where I was saying secrets are supposed to be exposed or something? And I was talking about how Donald Trump, I thought, might be doing some business with Bill Gates about that compact nuclear wave reactor. I figured he was going to get into that, because that is if he, and you know what, I'm gonna add this here. He might pull my video down for adding this. First, I want to say, I was saying in part 2 of the prediction for February that I thought that maybe Donald Trump would be joining in with Bill Gates again, dealing with that nuclear reactor, because that, if I was doing business, that is a hell of a business deal. If they about to come up with a new energy power source, you know, that's big money. That's big money, and it's supposed to be more clean and maybe a little more safer, because they don't have to keep refueling this particular reactor. And so it's like the reactor fuel eats itself up until it's like completely dissipated. So basically it squeeze blood out of a turnip in order to process its energy. And so that would be a great business investment for anybody. But of course, only the big dogs can play on that level. And Donald Trump is one of those big dogs. And it was some astrological alignments that correspond with Bill Gates' birth natal chart, as well as Donald Trump's natal chart. They had that in common. So I say they must be working together. I know Bill Gates is part of it because he funded the original prototype. And so he just needs some more funding, because now they got the prototype up, running. He got the first model ready. Now it's time to see if it works, show off how well it works, to get investors so they can, you know, put this out commercially, nationally. I hope that makes sense. But then there's another thing that I kept being afraid to say. When I did that video, because it had a lot of 12th house energy and Scorpio energy and something else I can't remember. In the month of February, I was like, I say in that video, I say, I hope that the nuclear reactor doesn't fail and lead to some, I'm trying to learn how to, I'm trying to broaden my vocabulary so I can say words that YouTube might not catch on. Perish, that people would perish as a direct result of the failure of this nuclear reactor test. But I stopped myself, because I don't ever want to be held in contempt of nobody. These courts, these governments, or nothing. I'm a black woman that stand alone. I don't need no problems. But I even thought that the stars and astrological alignments and what they mean could be interpreted that the Ace of Spades might perish. I'm going to say it like that. The Ace of Spades might perish. I don't know. I don't know. I hope y'all got that. But I didn't want to say that. I had to still figure out a way to say that, but I'm hoping not. I hope not. And so now he walking away from all of these people. That's done ran up on the Capitol on his behalf. Mm. He said the Proud Boys and Antifa will lead to civil war. To civil war. Yep. And you know what? It's certain things I can't say. I don't know nobody. I'm not affiliated with nobody. I ain't got no social pool. I'm one of the most hated people in the deep. But, how can I say? Yeah, the Proud Boys and the Antifa lead to civil war. I'm going to leave it like that. They lead to civil war. Because I'm stopping because I feel like a lot of provoking, not a lot, but some provoking is taking place underneath the radar. And I think it is projected to certain tribes. I really do. And I don't want certain tribes to be provoked. I'll say that. And another thing I understood yesterday when I seen all that imagery, I thought about all of the mass incarceration. I was like, because we know that if it was other tribes that had ran up and did that, that would have went totally different. That would have went totally different. We know that. You know, some people want to deny that. I can't. I done seen a little bit too much in order for me to deny it. If that was another tribe that had done that, it would have been CW. Straight up. CW straight up. Non-stop. The world would change. At least this nation would have changed in an hour. In 1 hour. So, you know, and I think about mass incarceration and why, you know, mass incarceration exists. You know, just seeing all of them people scaffolding up, skimming up the walls and over the walls, and they done took the barricades that, the little metal gates that they put there and turned them to ladders. I was like, I'm going to leave it alone. I don't ever want to be a provocateur. Looking for, okay, Antifa is protesting active right-wing conservatives, including the Proud Boys, etc. The right wing. No. Yep. Okay. I'm not gonna show it, but I just can't see. Oh, that I almost forgot. I'm happy you said that one too, because I wanted to reflect back. Remember, I suffer from old people problems sometimes, so my memory don't always serve me well. But I started thinking that I was recalling some events that happened in Washington maybe about 6 years ago during the Obama administration. It seemed like I was recalling that one time a woman, I think she was a black woman, drove her car. This might be just hearsay. I never saw proof of it. Never seen any video. My memory could just be making up stuff. My mind could just be making up stuff. But I thought I recalled that I think it was a black woman drove her car up on the White House lawn, y'all. Y'all let me know. I think her kids were in the car. She was irate because she had lost her job or something and didn't have no food. And they said, it's time to work. Okay, be safe. Seatbelts, no drugs, all that good stuff. Don't make me have to turn up. And the Secret Services, all of this whole video, I couldn't say Secret Services. The Secret Service people shot the car up and killed her. And I think the kids in the car, I don't know. Oh, I don't know if the kids was in the car, but they shot the car up and killed the woman in the yard, driving around in the yard, acting a fool. I don't know. Did y'all hear that? Please tell me. And then it's this other one, this other story, happened around the same time period, I do believe. And the White House kitchen, some people supposed to have came into, what do they call it, assassins, I think a person, I don't know. Again, I ain't the crispiest cookie in the jar, and I have these old people problems. They seem like they're coming on. But somebody, possibly like an assassin, snuck in or came through the kitchen in the White House during the Obama administration. And it was like, how the heck somebody slipped into the White House through the kitchen? Do any of y'all remember that? Please tell me. Please tell me. Or am I really losing it? My mind be full of stuff, but that seemed like something that I remember. I really do. And my point in saying that is that no time before you do remember that. Okay, no time before Barack Obama do I remember any civilian like or something like that, or terror. I'm trying to talk in code and I'm not good at it. Just weasel their way into the White House, one way or another. I don't recall that. So it almost seems like it's saying something with those dynamics as well. And it's saying since Obama took office, the White House has not been on full guard or alert or something. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not being watched. Like they didn't give a care about the White House and the party that was the head during Obama's thing. So they just come through the back door, come through the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? And then it kept going on now through Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? Something that my whole point is I had never heard of that before them. Not doing Jimmy Carter, not Reagan, not Bush's. I don't remember that ever happening. Clinton, I don't remember that happening at all. Not into Obama. And that's saying something. And then I don't remember it happening, I don't think, even with Donald Trump until Donald Trump okayed it to happen. And then when he okayed it to happen or even suggested that it was okay, then it was no military force around. It was no law enforcement, again, no military force. Nobody was there. But all the staff was there. Come on now. I'm going to let it go. Y'all. Anywho, thank you for coming here to Can Angels Fly and hear me perform my second rant for 2021. Now, if you're ever interested in ordering your own personal tarot reading, feel free to do so. Here's my email. My email is canangelsfly1 @gmail.com. Until then, on to next time. Bye.